This video is going to talk about the difference between your Mars and Venus sign in your chart and why this is significant to know in your life. Mars and Venus signs are talked about a lot when it comes to dating because it helps us understand what we're into, what we attract, what we kind of need in like our love languages. But Mars and Venus and understanding the difference between the two for you as a unique individual is actually just really helpful to understand how to live a more fulfilling life in general. It doesn't just have to do with relationships or romance, it's all areas of life. Venus is the planet that represents the divine feminine, so it's the archetype of Aphrodite. Aphrodite is basically the symbol of self-love. And what she represents, since she's the feminine, is the magnetizing and the pulling. So she's what we attract, it's what we bring in. Venus is the heart. Venus is what is close to our heart, and it's our value systems and what's important to us. So the sign that your Venus is in describes the qualities of your value systems, and the type of people that you like to be around have these values. Those are the people that you resonate with. Like Venus in Leo would really resonate with warmth and loyalty, and like Venus in Leo has such a big heart. Venus in Aquarius, the opposite, really values freedom and expansiveness and independence. Venus tells us what we want to receive and what we're open to receiving. So getting in touch with your Venus sign can be helpful for like, I'm allowing myself to receive this energy. Like Venus in Gemini has a craving and an attraction for lightness and curiosity and novelty and learning. So like allowing yourself to receive that energy is important. Mars, which is more of the masculine energy, is the push rather than the pull. So it's how we assert ourselves. It's how we go after what we want. So rather than the receiving, it's the giving and it's the doing. So your Mars sign is going to tell you how you go after the things that you want. Mars, or Eris, is the god of war. And what's interesting is that Aphrodite and Eris are lovers. And so the duality of the masculine and the feminine, and sort of understanding what you attract and what you go after, is super important to feel more fulfillment and wholeness. Mars is like your life force energy. So it's the energy at which you're going about what you're doing. So if you have Mars in Cancer, it's more at a detriment. So it can, Cancer's the crap. So when it comes to going after things, there's a much more like soft approach. It's much more passive. It's much more soft. It's a very nurturing energy. The opposite, Mars in Aries, is going to go at things very directly. It's going to go after what it wants more spontaneously, maybe with more risk, but doing things with more action. So Venus and Aphrodite being all about self-love, understanding your Venus sign is like what you really want and what you want to receive and what you desire. And then really your Mars sign is like how you're gonna go after that thing. So if you have Venus and Scorpio, and so you really crave and are nourished by depth and intensity in life and closeness, like deep closeness, and then you have a Mars in Sagittarius, you're gonna go about doing that in a very adventurous way, maybe a little more flirty, maybe a little bit more open and exploring and being out in nature or traveling. If your Mars is kind of taking the lead and you're not listening to the heart, to the Venus sign, you might be stretching yourself thin really easy and not listening to your heart's need of more of that privacy and that quiet and that depth, like one-on-one. And it's important to know the difference, because it's important to know if we're maybe overactive in our Mars or our Venus. Like if we are doing a lot without receiving enough, or if we are like waiting around to receive without doing enough. So look at your Venus sign to kind of determine what it is, the qualities and the values and the type of people that you really want and desire and what you really want out of life. And then look to your Mars sign to see how you can most effectively go after that thing. Like if you have Mars and Earth, you're gonna go after things more structurally, more strategically, over time, with more of like a to-do list. If you have a Mars and Air, it's gonna be much more about networking. It's gonna be about trying new things. It's gonna be about having a lot of conversations about it.